For many people looking back at the history of World War II, the position of the Russians in the events as they unfolded is often tricky to understand. Even Winston Churchill, the British Prime Minister, described Russia as being a riddle wrapped in a mystery inside an enigma. And as we look in depth at what was going on in July 41, stepping back further in time will certainly help us to understand matters more in context. Traditionally, as the 20th century dawned, the Russians had close ties with Great Britain, not least because the Tsar, Nicholas II, was married to Queen Victoria's granddaughter, Alexandra, and as another of Queen Victoria's grandchildren, the German Kaiser Wilhelm, threatened the peace of Europe, the Russians joined forces with the British when World War I began in 1914. But as the battlefields of Ypres and the Somme became soaked in the blood of the young men fighting in the trenches, the mighty Russian Empire was crumbling fast, and on the streets of Moscow, Russian blood was being spilled in equal measure. As World War I raged on, the Russian Revolution of 1917 saw the working classes rise up against their capitalist overlords, triggering a brutal civil war. With heavy losses to the Germans on the Eastern Front and deteriorating conditions on the home front, tensions ran high. The glittering decadence of the royal family was in stark contrast to the meagre existence of the peasant classes. And as Lenin came to fore as the Bolshevik leader, the Romanov dynasty was toppled as the Tsar and his family were captured and then executed. It was a desperate time for the people of Russia, who saw the rise of communism and the Red Army, named in honor of those whose blood had been shed in the war against capitalism.